tracks, Pandit.
Thierry Neuville, the newly crowned WRC World Champion. Thierry, your determination, talent, and passion for running inspire thousands of fans worldwide. And we are thrilled to have you with us this morning. Your presence here is a testament not only to your commitment to the sport, but also to your connection with those who admire and support it. At Caetano Kenya, we share the same passion for performance, innovation, and excellence. Values that we see reflected in you and in live motorsport. Rallying is a demanding discipline that pushes the limits of automotive, engineering, and human endurance. As the official distributor of Hyundai, it is only natural for us to celebrate our success and that of your entire team. This morning, we have a unique opportunity to engage with the world champion, to learn more about his journey, his challenges, and his victories. Make the most of this Q&A session in this special moment. Once again, Thierry, thank you for being here and for your time. And thank you all for joining us to share this unforgettable experience. Welcome to Caetano Kenya and enjoy this inspiring exchange.
Thierry, for giving us this opportunity to be here. You are a great driver, you are a great guy, despite the fact that you are sponsors in the past. Now, Hyundai are bringing in an old car. What is the information of bringing an old car? The old car, the old car,
I also believe that Kenya is one of the only events and countries where it's still possible to make more endurance race and longer stages, because in European or even in Asian countries it's more and more difficult to make long stages, close the ball, because they're used by many people, and it makes it very challenging. And I believe that in Kenya we still could have the opportunity to go to a more endurance race.
Thank you.
All right, Thierry, good morning. Thank you for the National Corporation. Just two quick things. You know, the biggest lesson learned from last year having the executive exercise right at the wire, and also this season, a new point system, how to react to the new point system where it's overall running or vice versa.
I mean, it's difficult to compare this year's point system with last year's point system, and it was difficult to compare last year's point system with the previous point system. So it's different. Every driver needs to adapt to it. I nevertheless believe that the changes we have made from last year to this year are small adjustments, which should make it, for me, more exciting, but also give it a bit more reward for race victory. And that's what all drivers were looking forward. So overall, I think it's a justified adjustment. And nevertheless, I think we're going to still see close fights at the end of the year. And again, I think the championship decision will go down the wire to the last race of the season.
Thierry, this is Eric from South Africa. How does it feel to be a world champion who is also to race alongside a former world champion, that is your teammate Tanaka?
Could you repeat please the last part of the question?
Alongside.
Could you repeat the last
So
part?
I'm saying, how does it feel to be a world champion and also to compete alongside a former world champion, that is your teammate Tanaka?
No, I mean, obviously, I was chasing that driver's title for many years together with and we have been sometimes really close, but to finally get it, and in a way we did last year, we delivered the championship for the first until the very last round. Has been really exciting, and obviously the joy was massive once we got that title in Japan last year. Since, I don't think things have massively changed. A new season started immediately, a few weeks later, and my target is to be as competitive this year as last year, so I'm really focused on that, much more than thinking about what has happened last year. It was obviously great, but we can call ourselves now a world champion, but nevertheless, the new season started and we are fully focused on what's going on now. Working with Boyd is always has been coach in the past. It's always good to have an experienced teammate and a strong teammate who pushes ourselves also to a maximum of our capabilities to give the very best all the time. I mean, the first enemies are always your teammates, because they have the same material, they have the same car, and it's the first ones to beat.
Alright, so at this point in time, is there any other person from our esteemed guests who come who would like to ask Thierry a question? Just by a show of hand. Any other questions from the audience? Okay.
Yes, good morning. Quick question. How would this 2025 Rally 1 cars feel against the 2024 Rally 1 cars behind it? What's the biggest difference between last year's car and this year's car?
I would say that overall, the performance is very similar. Obviously, we lost 130 horsepower, nearly 150, with a smaller splinter as well, but we gained more than 80 kilos, so the car is quite much lighter, and that's why overall the performance is very similar. I would say that on the slower sections, we don't think so much anymore when and where to use the extra boost because it doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, other than that, from the outside, I think for the spectators it's absolutely not visible. And for us drivers, we're already used to it, and I'm still enjoying it a lot.
All right, thank you.
Good morning. Question. Going up when you changed from the time to Pirelli last year to now, how quickly have you adapted to the time change?
It's a good question. Personally, for me, Monte Carlo has been a big struggle, and mainly due to the new tires, where obviously testing is very limited, so we couldn't really get any good testing and any good feeling with big tires. And Monte Carlo is especially bad because we have 4 different compounds, and we can use a Monte Carlo only. So I think we got it wrong. Monte Carlo, we struggled a lot. Sweden, everybody has only one tire, so tire choice is simple. Nevertheless, we all agree that the performance of the Hamilton on snow and ice is much lower than the Pirelli, so we had to adapt ourselves and make sure that we keep it a bit more steady and more control. Where with the Pirelli we were able to take a bit more risk and push it harder because it was more progressive and more controlled. And now I worked in tire only once 2 weeks ago in a pre-event test on Kenya in south of Portugal. And I must say that overall I was positively surprised. So hopefully we can confirm that here this weekend and the feeling is good and we are able to trust ourselves and the tire more than what I was able to do with Monte Carlo, for example. So I believe that on level the performance is quite a bit. But still, with only 1 day testing, there's still a lot to learn for us here this weekend, and we might have surprises or not, we don't know. And that's what makes it so tricky as well. I mean, we've been driving for many years with Pirelli, and I was really comfortable with Pirelli. Even when we switched from Michelin to Pirelli, I felt more comfortable with Pirelli. And now going to Hamilton is a change. And hopefully I will very quickly find the back feelings.
Hello, I'm Vincent from Management CIT. Question that I want to ask is, what advice can you tell to a young youth?
We get that question very often. I know that there's a lot of young people reading about being a rally driver, such as I have been when I was a small child. And I realized that over the last 10 years, obviously, motorsport, but also in general rally, has evolved quite a lot and changed a lot. And it's getting more and more difficult for young drivers to jump into motorsport, into rallying, and even Formula 1, because it needs a lot more budget than it has needed 10, 15, 20 years back. Nevertheless, there are opportunities, and those opportunities, you need to reach out for them, you need to take risks, and try and make the best out of it. If you get the chance, give it your very best. It's a single chance most of the time you get, and that's where you have to give everything. So that's what I always say, keep believing, never give up, and after hard times, there are always good times as well. So my career has been the same. There was a lot of ups and downs, and from one day to the other, it could have stopped, as it could have continued, or it has continued, obviously. But I never gave up, and I always fight hard, and I always believe that one day I could be a professional rally driver. So, yeah, that's fighting spirit. question.
Sorry.
It's hard to explain the feelings you can get from driving a rally car. I mean, we all know how to drive a car, but we need to imagine everything. From the car's performance, you need to imagine everything better. More power, better braking, better stability, more precision. The car is more agile, more reactive, and also it gives you a lot of feeling of safety because also you have seats, you have all the driver equipment, so you feel very comfortable in the car actually. And you have a car that basically does what you request from the car. And then, when you are driving it, for me there are two scenarios. When I'm driving in WRC, there are not so many feelings because my only target is to be the fastest and I focus only on doing the best I can to get to the station and focus on not making mistakes. When I'm driving for fun, with any kind of other rally car, and some competition I do throughout the year, in Belgium or whatever, I am able to much more feel the sensations you can get from the speed and the slide and so on, because I'm not in a competition mode, I'm just having fun. That's why I enjoy actually the most while in driving. And obviously WRC, it feels like going for me, it feels like going to work, like everybody goes to work every morning. Because it felt very natural for me, and we are driving a car 2 times a week minimum, and sometimes more. But it's spectacular. When I jump as a co-driver next to my teammates, I have much more feelings and sensation, and I also sometimes are afraid because it feels much faster on the co-driver side, I have to say, because you are not in control and you don't know what the driver is doing. But I only can hope that everybody get at least once in their lifetime an experience with whatever rally or circuit racing, and the experience to be next to a professional driver in a fast car, because it's something unique.
Alright, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your questions. We'll take a few more minutes with Thierry on the side, just for some little questioning from the media team. The rest of the team and enjoy some refreshments. I believe that should take 5 minutes, if not, okay, just a few minutes. So Thierry, allow me to step on the side a little bit, the media team will join in, and then after that we'll come up here, do the autograph signing, and bring this to a close. Okay, you want something to like to say?
No, thank you very much. There's a question. How we go from top 20 to a good driver to world champions? What are the last small details to make the difference? And how you are mentally and physically preparing for that?
Obviously, I mean, the most difficult step is always to make the last step. We, from a good driver, professional and perfect driver. It's experience. It's really important. Like in any other job, I mean, in any other sport, more experience helps you to be more in control of what you do and understand better what you do. When you are young as well, you always go more crazy, and once you get a bit older, you improve your skills. And that was the same for me. I mean, I came to WRC in 2012, but I was able to do fastest stage times for the third rally on in Mexico already. And I felt like the speed was there, but I was never getting that speed for the whole weekend. And if sometimes I was able to keep it for 3-4 stages, or maybe 1.5 days, at some point I crashed the car. So it needed a bit of experience, but also it's hard work. I mean, you need talent, of course, to start with, but then you need hard work. So analyzing what went wrong and learning from your mistakes. I mean, every time you fall, you need to stand up again and continue, but understand as well why did I fall down and what can I do. get out of that situation. I mean, sometimes you're doubting, and when you're the good people around you, they find a way to motivate you again and bring you back where you need to be to be competitive. That's where we go.
Thank you. So just a few more minutes with the BT team. Here is okay? All right. And then now we will recruit back for the autograph signing.
tu hivyo kidogo, sideways kidogo.
There's still a lot of things to